Sea batteries, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. So Alata wants a white peace. I will accept that. And that immediately makes Matapa go, I'm done here. Right, next month. Probably. Alright, month after. Maybe 2 months. Longer the war goes on, the more they want to peace out. And for the amount of money they're going to pay me for this privilege, I am happy to wait. Oh wow, they're actually going less and less willing to fight. I mean, more willing to fight. Portugal are claiming my stuff. And we can reform the government. So, we can choose between broaden the executive powers, which reduces stability cost. Or we can get an additional diplomat. I think the stab cost reduction is going to be really helpful because stability is almost always super expensive because we're a republic. We'll have a heck of a lot more control over that if we do this. Although extra diplomats is also nice because it means I'm going to have more spy networks going on at once. Oh, you know what? When's steel technology available? It already is. I should be spying on more people. Including Britain. So I'm going to take the extra diplomat. Britain's been PU'd by Aragon? No way. This is probably a war of succession which the Commonwealth is currently winning. But wow. Commonwealth, Hungary, Denmark, Norway, Norwegian, Mexico. Interesting. And Bosnia. Versus Aragon, Britain, British West Indies, and Galicia. Is that a war of succession? Yes. Which means that Britain's going to come under a Commonwealth. Britain's going to be PU'd by the Commonwealth if they win this. It's going to be tough for the Commonwealth to win because they're not going to be able to land in Britain. But the war goal, I think, is going to be Valencia being Aragon's capital, and they've got it already. Huh. That's kind of hilarious. Right, government reforms. I was going to take the diplomat. And then I think I'm going to study technology maybe with Port... Actually, hang on. Ledger index. I want to know who has the most technology. That's my tech overview. That's not other people's tech overview. Nations technologies. Here we go. Who has the most overall? Aachen. Ajuran. Oh no, that's not most. I thought there was a total. It's the Mamelukes. Actually, that doesn't surprise me. Or Tuscany. Or Ulm. Or Mainz. Hamburg. Austria. Bohemia. It's really easy. It's probably, like, if you play as the Mamelukes, it is so easy to get monarch points. You really can just spend them. I'm wondering if I want to do a spy network against the Mamelukes. I don't remember exactly what the rules are for study technology. Which is just a passive bonus. Bunch of truces just ended, including with the Maldives. Unfortunately, Kilwa did take Zanzibar, which annoys me. That's going to be quite difficult to take back. Well, actually, is it? If I can get my armies up to scratch, then I'll be able to beat Matapa because I can just pick where I fight them. Come on, just peace out. We're done here. Expansionist, global settler increase. Speaking of Venice rivalry? How does Venice even know who I am? That's really weird. Oh, I can't even check who my rivals are. Oh, it's because Venice is my neighbour. And Mutapa did in fact take Luanda. Or Chokwe did, probably. Is that giving them any war score? No. What's my income? -8, which is why I really need this war to end soon. I might need to reduce my demands a little. Or reduce it by 50 ducats. I can live with that. Alright, so this is going to enable me to repay a couple of loans. I think I'll stay with 200 in the bank, so we're still losing 400 ducats. So the next war I wanted to prosecute was against Pasai. Pasai's allied to Brunei, though. That's a problem. Because we know that Brunei has quite a strong navy. And is Diplo 15, so they'll be building tier 3 ships. They probably don't have many of them, if any. But they can build them. That's a problem. Mutapa just stole my maps. How dare you! Well, I know I can save a bunch of points by mothballing the heavies. Or a bunch of money by mothballing the heavies. The thing is, I don't want to be crawling along earning 0.5 ducats when I could do so much more recovery by just fighting someone. And Pasai is all in supply range, so we can just keep them permanently blockaded. We could also make Brunei break their alliance with Sulu. And we are up to 17 heavies at this point. Pasai has 22. Pasai has better Diplotac. I have maritime ideas, which just means I have a bigger navy, not necessarily a better one. I really need more naval ideas before I can do that. We could tech up military. We could also tech up Diplo. Sure. I think I'm going to continue with my morale defensive army. Manpower has not been a huge problem. Morale, however, has. What I need to avoid is fighting their entire fleet at once. I need to bring my fleet to bear and crush them. Brunei's only got 8 heavies, so together they have 30 against my 17. They do have a lot of lights and they do have a lot of transports. I can afford to let them land. Well, I can afford to let them get close to my nation. Not necessarily to land. Landing would be bad. The other thing I could do is go after the Maldives just to secure them. Oh, no, I can't. Not for another 2 years. So who else has a lot of light ships? Pasai has the second most in the world. Vijayanagar also, but without the Maldives I can't actually blockade much of Vijayanagar. Otherwise I totally would fabricate a trade conflict against them. To humiliate Pasai, we would need to take their capital. I can't actually do that. Pegu would say no, Brunei would say yes. It would need to be a trade conflict. Do I have at least... Is it 10% trade that's required? I mean, I probably can get it. Pasai must have at least 20% trade power in a node where I have at least 10. Pasai, confirmed, have got more than that. I'm just wondering how much money Ajuran's making. They're at 22%. I could put some light ships here, which would increase it. Then I could do a trade conflict against Ajuran. They're not as big and wealthy as Matapa, and they're allied to Yemen, but that is going to be a bunch more ships we could steal. Ajuran has a lot of light ships. And Yemen probably does too. No, only 7, but they have 6 heavies, which we could steal. And a bunch of transports. Maybe the Mamelukes are a choice. I think the Mamelukes would be too hard, plus I have no way of reaching them to blockade them. It kind of needs to be somewhere which is in supply range. So I can just leave my ships there blockading without risking them. Which is why I need to get the Maldives back. Are there any other ways that I can reduce the amount of money I'm spending? No, but I can get spoils of war and another ducat, in which case we're still losing 1.1. So 1.9. I could turn off my heavies. That's going to save a lot. How much is the naval maintenance right now? 9. That'll probably go down to about 4, I'd guess. So we'll save about 5. So we could make about 2 ducats a month. But that's going to be a lot of months to pay back 2,800 ducats. I think I'd still much rather fight a war over this, but it needs to be one that we gain from. Yeah, Maldives truce is another 2 years. At which point we could almost certainly do a trade conflict against Vijayanagar. And I think that would actually be easier than fighting Pasai and Brunei. And then with Vijay's ships we could definitely go after these. I just need to rebuild the navy. And by rebuild I need to re-steel the navy. Part of the problem is I just don't have the support ships. I have a lot of heavies to deliver a lot of damage, but quality-wise we're the same. The only thing that's really going to be differentiating us is Admiral quality. And just because I have maritime ideas, not really going to help. We have more sailors and we can blockade more better. Not really enough. Can't wait till I get this. Right, well I'm going to split out the light ships. I'm going to tell them to privateer Coromandel. And I'm going to grab the heavies and leave them in the capital. And then I'm going to mothball them for now. Unless of course I can raid some more stuff. Let's double check that first. Actually, that's true. I might be able to start raiding East Africa. South Africa I can definitely do, but they're not going to be worth it. Actually, you're at 15 dev. Crikey. Could actually be worth doing. Alright, let's raid it. Has the timer already gone? Has it been 10 years? Doesn't feel like it has. Need some 666 rulers so I can catch up on tech. I'm working on it. Alright, Versailles now rivals me. I've got a 446. Too far away. Oh, apparently the timers have ended. Another 86 ducats. Alright then, if you insist. Free trade, gain mercantilism. Yes, please. Alright, well that's another loan repaid. And then there were 20. Can reach all of this. That's another one paid. I did not realise that my counters had reset. This is amazing. Now please tell me when my counters are reset. Okay, they are actually protecting trade here. So I'm going to need... where are they protecting? They're protecting in Malacca, which is probably Pasai because they know exactly what I do. We're going to need to go ahead and privateer Malacca. The greater Christian community. To the greater Christian world, our veneration of their god must seem like a miracle. While they may take some issue with our interpretations, there seems to be a general relief that the word of God can be spread amongst the pagans. 77% effectiveness, that's more like it. I will take 77% effectiveness, because this is also going to be weakening their own economies. Because this counts as devastation. Another thing which could happen, somewhat unlikely, but it could, is Pasai declares war on me when I'm going after the Maldives, or whoever. And then there were 17. So now if I mothball my heavies, I can definitely afford it. This has actually been a humongous help. Division of Plunder. Our latest prize turned out to be carrying a much more valuable cargo than expected. This fact has not been revealed to the crews, who would expect and demand the additional plunder to be added to their share. The captains of the involved ships wish to sequester the money to refit their ships and purchase additional cannon, while the fence's representatives argue that it is best spent on bribing officials in legitimate ports. As an argument breaks out, a drunken crewman stumbles into the room. And here's too much. Divide it equally amongst the crew, gives the buccaneers more and also more admin. The fence will take their cut, the smugglers gain influence, the buccaneers lose some, and we gain diplo, or the captains gain some, and we lose military. So right now the buccaneers are 100% in charge, because we're doing a ton of raiding, so their influence is just skyrocketing because of that. Plus we have the 2 reforms in their favour. And we're not privateering enough to get the captains on side. The captains would be useful, though, to get that morale of navies and the naval leader fire. We could actually get +2 naval fire, +1 shock from naval ideas, which we've already got. That's +3 pips right there. Like, my admirals have the potential to be really strong. And so in this instance, I'm going to go with the captain will receive an extra share. The buccaneers are already strong enough. Oh my gosh, this is just so much money! Being an Indonesian pirate is amazing. It is really micro-intensive though. A lot of clicking and a lot of pausing. Like, this would be kind of challenging to do it in multiplayer. Although then you would probably just be playing on Spade 3 or 2. The many jobs of a soldier. I would much prefer you lost some professionalism. Thanks. And with that, our work here is done. So the privateers, who I should probably rename accordingly, will return to work in Coromandel because it is just simply more valuable. Meanwhile, you lot head back to the capital and we'll just go and turn you off for a bit. Repay, repay, repay. And we're actually making money with the heavies on. What difficulty is this? Just normal. Hey, Aristide. And there we go. We've recovered. And that's with the taxation penalty. We do have one colonist not doing anything. He should be there. Okay. Mothball. Boom. We've just got the 14 to repay. So things are actually looking pretty positive. Pasai is considering attacking Malacca. Luanda's now doing tropical goods. So I would very much like to know if and when Pasai goes to war. Best guess? Good guesses. So that's something you can't see, but I'm using the box right behind my head. Right here. This box. To get notifications specifically from different countries. And the way you can do that is by pressing the flag with the envelope. And you can say, tell me about these countries when they do something useful or interesting. Not an ability I use very often, but I probably should. Another Diplotech? Yes. So that's going to get me to Diplo 14. Next level is galleons and early frigates. And also more global settler strength and also colonial range. Oh, the reason I could reach this is because I got the colonial range from the technology, isn't it? Ball! Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Even if it is a little scary that I'm being followed by the god of murder. And Portugal have finally embraced global trade. A bit late there, aren't you? Oh. Fiddlesticks. We're 7 years away from manufactories. And we really need to have some manufactories. Preferably up and running before that comes along. Oh, Britain took Singapore. Okay. So Banca is currently owned by Pasai. It does not, however, have a fort. So, if I did some of my naval maneuver shenanigans and landed, say, in Lamuri, that would pull their armies away. I could then land in Banca. No, because I would have the crossing from Palembang. That wouldn't work. I would need to take both ends. What I could do is fabricate a claim on one of these. Say, Damak. That would then be the war goal. I could occupy Damak fairly easily. So long as I land in Banton. Take Banton. That straight crossing they can't then use. And so long as I maintain naval superiority here, I can occupy all of this and actually build up a fair amount of war score against them. As long as I maintain naval superiority while that happens. But that is absolutely feasible. And I can do it because we own this island. And from what I remember, there's a hell of a lot of development here. 12, 13, 29. Oh, I saw a 30. No, I did not. I think that's going to be reasonable. That's their capital, but I can go for Lumpuri, which will draw their forces away. So even if I lose 2,000 men doing that, I can station my main army here, have 2 transports doing this, then have the rest of the transport sitting off the coast of Kediri, or even off the coast of Banton ready to go. Hell, I could just sit in here and just walk. Not actually walk, that would take a really long time. The other thing I might want to do is save up 100 ducats so I can get a heavy ship with the disembark ability. Election? Let's call that a re-election, shall we? Could right-click Pasai's flag shields, add them favourites. Well, it was worth getting all the others too. Although, I must admit, Venice is less useful. So is Commonwealth. Britain would be a good one. And I would say also Visionaga, actually. Now, you know what should be here? A search. Oh. Vijay was already there. Oh, this is just... selected all of Asia rather than just best guess. So, deselect Venice. Deselect Commonwealth. Then I need to go down to V for Vijayanagar. But of course it's not in alphabetical order, it's in geographical order. That's Ajuran. And there's Vijay. Okay, we got it. Oh, Maldives. Maldives are another one. And yes, you could totally just do it this way. Boop. Markets of special interest. Versailles has declared war on Malacca. What is Malacca's navy like? Awful. But that will be a distraction. And they will want to leave some ships blockading. Now, unfortunately, this war would happen at a time when I am a little bit short on money. New group of ideas. Administrative, so I can catch up faster. Offensive, so I can do the sieges faster. Quality, so I can get better ships and troops and cannons and stuff. Economics, so I can deal with the loans better. I don't think that economics really been a problem. Quality plus maritime is more morale of navies. Although once I have naval done, I don't think that's going to be much of a problem anymore. Expansion plus offensive is automatically discover adjacent when colony is built. Not hugely useful. Offensive plus maritime, however, is leader, maneuver, and ship durability, both of which are useful. Exploration plus naval is global naval engagement. And settler increase and native uprising. Not huge. Trade. Oh, espionage. Espionage was the other one I was looking at. Global naval engagement with naval plus blockade impact on siege. Those are good. Naval plus espionage is actually interesting. That would also allow me to get spy networks faster, be cheaper advisors, another diplomat, foreign spy network detection, aggressive expansion, don't really care about those, subject fabrications, better embargoes and better privateering. Then the rebel support if I really wanted to be annoying against somebody. Plutocratic, that's true. They don't have as many naval abilities though, but they do have the institution spread. Maritime. Okay. Plutocratic plus maritime is light ship cost and light ship combat ability. Both of those are very useful. I don't, however, have economics, so we don't get the Republican tradition modifiers. Available mercenaries, mercenary discipline. Morale of armies is good. Unrest, not a huge issue. Merchants don't care. Goods don't care. Caravan don't care. Manpower recovery, possibly. For possibly the first time ever, I'm going to say that I don't think plutocratic's the right one. I don't think that innovative is either. I can't really afford the advisors. Granted, they make them cheaper, but I just don't think I can put up the cash. I think that this is going to be offensive. Oh, except for the fact that I've already got a military idea going and it's expensive. I should probably go for an admin, so probably innovative. Maybe economic. Economic plus naval is production and goods produced. Irrelevant. Maritime is more sailors and maintenance reduction.